Welcome to the right place, your creative hub for transforming ordinary outdoor spaces into extraordinary sanctuaries. If you're passionate about sustainable living, eco-conscious creativity, and the kind of gardening that makes neighbors stop and stare, you're in for a treat. In this episode, we dive into great garden design inspiration for a unique garden art from trash, repurpose, and reimagine. We're talking about elevating your green space using unconventional discarded items, not the usual tires or boots, but truly overlooked gems like broken umbrellas or rusted lanterns. These can be reborn as magical garden art, beautifully harmonized with flowering plants, vines, and greenery. Whether you're working with a small backyard or a sprawling garden, this video will help spark ideas to turn what others see as garbage into gold. Every segment is designed to inspire you to think differently about waste and see it as a canvas for floral creativity. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss out on more inspiring, earth-friendly design tips. Let's reimagine, repurpose, and refresh your garden's soul. One, umbrella frames turned hanging flower spinners. One man's broken umbrella is another gardener's floating masterpiece. Repurpose an old umbrella frame by removing the fabric and spray painting the metal arms in vibrant hues. Once dried, hang it upside down and attach trailing plants like petunias, string of pearls, or ivy to each spoke. As the wind turns it, the plants spin gracefully, adding whimsy and movement to your garden. These DIY flower spinners can be mounted from tree branches, pergolas, or shepherd's hooks. The effect? A kinetic sculpture that shimmers with natural color and life. Consider pairing blooming vines like clematis or black-eyed Susans for a splash of elegance against the raw, repurposed metal. The contrast of delicate flora and rough material will surely capture attention. For an added touch, integrate solar-powered fairy lights wrapped around the frame to make your hanging garden glow at night. This project not only diverts waste from landfills, but enhances your garden with a rotating, flowering focal point that delights both day and night. Two, rusty lanterns as plant pot art. Rusty or broken lanterns that no longer hold candles can become tiny magical planters. Clear out the interior and insert moss, miniature succulents, or air plants. With the addition of small flowering herbs like thyme or alyssum, each lantern becomes a living jewel nestled among your beds or hanging from branches. These plant pods serve as both lighting decor and miniature greenhouses. Hang several together at different heights, perhaps suspended in a circle to form a secret garden chandelier. The soft rust patina enhances the greens and purples of plants, creating a rich, textural art piece that bridges vintage metalwork and vibrant botany. 'You can even customize each lantern with paint, stencils, or colored glass pieces to mirror your garden's theme. This is garden art that invites you to look closer, to peer into each tiny world and appreciate the fusion of life and decay. Three, colanders as bloom baskets. Old metal or plastic colanders, often overlooked in kitchen cleanouts, can become playful and functional bloom baskets. With built-in drainage holes, they're already perfect for planting. Simply line them with coconut fiber or burlap, add potting mix, and plant vibrant seasonal flowers like pansies, impatiens, or nasturtiums. Hang these colanders on fences, trellises, or porch beams using sturdy rope or chain. Each one becomes a burst of color in your vertical garden display. Choose a mix of trailing and upright blooms for a cascading effect that looks abundant and intentional. To elevate their visual impact, group colanders in sets of 3 or 5 with complementary colors. They can also serve as themed garden art, for example, Yellow painted colanders with marigolds and daisies can form a cheerful sunburst corner in your yard. For broken lampshades as plant cradles. Discarded lampshade frames are surprisingly graceful once stripped of their fabric. Invert them, and they become elegant wire sculptures perfect for nesting flowering plants. Use twine to suspend them or stake them into the ground, filling their hollow centers with potted blooms or trailing vines. The geometric structure adds vertical interest and symmetry to garden beds or walkways. You might weave climbing plants like morning glory or sweet peas through the frame, letting their tendrils naturally wrap around the wire while blooming in vibrant spirals. For an artsy twist, wrap parts of the frame in yarn or jute, then paint them in complementary colors. This technique makes each plant cradle a functional art piece where nature and imagination grow together. Five, fan grills as flower walls. Old fan grills, just the metal cages, can be repurposed into circular trellises that support climbing plants and add structure to your garden walls. Mount them against fences or exterior walls and plant climbing flowers like nasturtiums or snapdragons at their base. The flowers will naturally spiral through the grills as they grow. Paint the grills in vivid colors to match or contrast the flowers they'll support. You can even create patterns using multiple grills, forming honeycomb-style arrangements or floral mandalas across your garden fence. These designs turn bland boundaries into blooming masterpieces. By layering several grills at different heights, you create a living tapestry. Incorporate herbs or fragrant blooms like lavender and jasmine to add aroma, as well as visual beauty. This idea is ideal for small space gardens or urban courtyards in need of vertical excitement. 6. Wire baskets as hanging bloom globes. Wire fruit or office baskets are often tossed out when bent or rusted, but in the garden, they shine. Convert them into hanging bloom globes by lining them with moss or cocoa coir and filling with colorful annuals like begonias, verbena, or lobelia. Hang them with sturdy chain at eye level for a floating garden effect. These globes offer 360-degree planting surfaces, which means you can create full floral spheres visible from every angle. Try mixing flower colors and textures for a burst of wild elegance. This works especially well near pergolas or garden arches where suspended blooms add to the drama. To take it further, interlace solar string lights or even upcycled crystal beads among the plants for sparkle. These baskets blend discarded utility with blossoming artistry, bringing life and light into every neglected corner of your space. Seven. Tea kettles as hanging blooming bells. Have an old, dented tea kettle lying around? Don't toss it, transform it into a charming hanging planter. Drill a few drainage holes in the bottom, fill with soil, and plant cascading blooms like lobelia or calibrachoa. Suspend it from a tree or pergola beam, where it can sway gently in the breeze like a musical garden bell. The rounded shape and polished or patinaed surface of the kettle adds a whimsical metallic accent that contrasts beautifully with soft petals and green foliage. Use multiple kettles at different heights to create an eye-catching vertical installation filled with colorful flowers. For added character, paint the kettles in bold colors or stencil on floral motifs. Over time, they weather naturally into vintage-inspired pieces, creating harmony between your garden's organic growth and its recycled artistic elements. Eight, wire birdcages as blooming lanterns. Wire birdcages may seem like outdated decor, but in the garden, they become ethereal bloom lanterns. Place a small potted plant inside like a geranium or begonia and let vines peek through the bars. These cages frame the plants in a romantic, fairy tale-like structure that instantly elevates your garden's elegance. You can hang them from shepherd's hooks, tree limbs, or even line a pathway with standing cages for a glowing, floral ambience. At night, tuck in a solar-powered light among the blooms for a lantern effect. It's garden art that lights up both literally and metaphorically. If you're feeling creative, intertwine dried flower garlands or faux vines around the cage's frame to add extra dimension. Birdcages offer both structure and charm, a true blend of reclaimed beauty and plant life thriving in unity. 9. Fan blades as flower petal wall art. Don't overlook broken ceiling fan blades. They can be turned into oversized flower petals for a dramatic garden wall feature. Arrange 5 or 6 painted blades in a radial pattern on a shed or fence, centering them around a planter filled with daisies or zinnias to create the illusion of a giant blooming flower. Choose vibrant, outdoor-safe paint in complementary tones, and you'll have a year-round bloom that also serves as a trellis or backdrop for real climbing plants like mandevilla or morning glory. For a layered look, create multiple flowers in various sizes, turning a bland wall into a colorful garden gallery. With thoughtful planting and placement, this idea merges abstract art and organic design in a truly unforgettable way. Ten. Bed springs as garden grits. Got a rusty old bed spring? Its grid-like structure makes the perfect trellis for vertical gardens. Mount it against a fence or lean it against a wall, and train climbing plants like sweet peas, morning glories, or even tomatoes to weave through the metal. You can hang small pots with hooks from the inner sections of the grid, creating a modular vertical flower display. Colorful blooms like marigolds or pansies offer a lively contrast to the aged, industrial feel of the metal springs. 'To soften the rustic edges, wrap twine or trailing vines around the outer frame, blending natural and repurposed elements. It's an excellent way to reuse bulky scrap metal and create a lush, functional piece of vertical garden art. 11. Paint buckets as garden towers. Empty metal paint buckets, when cleaned and stacked creatively, can be transformed into flower towers. Stack them slightly askew like a spiral, and plant in each one to form a blooming staircase of color. Flowers such as petunias, geraniums, or alyssum spill beautifully from the edges. 'Drill drainage holes and anchor the buckets with a central rod for safety and stability. This vertical design works especially well in compact gardens or patios where floor space is limited but height is abundant. 'Paint the outside of each bucket in complementary colors or garden-themed patterns. The result is a functional sculpture, an ascending burst of blossoms rising from otherwise forgotten materials. 12. Cooling racks and grill grates as hanging plant panels. Old cooling racks or barbecue grill grates can be turned into vertical garden panels. Mount them against fences or garden walls, and hang lightweight potted plants or use them as trellises for climbing greenery like ivy or honeysuckle. Use S-hooks to suspend small planters directly from the grate openings, creating a living mosaic of flowers and herbs. The grid structure allows for flexible design, so you can rearrange and update with seasonal color. Whether painted to match your garden's theme or left rustic, these panels give dimension and greenery to vertical spaces. They're a striking example of how overlooked metal can be reborn into artful support for thriving plants. (13) Tin can chains as blooming wind curtains. Empty tin cans often destined for the recycling bin can be pierced, painted, and strung vertically to create a colorful garden curtain. Fill each can with potting mix and vibrant trailing flowers like nasturtium or trailing lobelia, and hang the chain in doorways, from pergolas, or as a garden screen. As the wind catches the cans, the curtain sways and rustles gently, acting like a floral wind chime. Each can becomes a mini flower pot suspended in motion, turning a static garden into a kinetic display of texture and life. You can color code the cans by flower type or use a rainbow palette to create a vibrant art piece that changes with the seasons. This playful installation captures movement, color, and sustainability all in one. 14. Graters and mesh containers as mini wall planters. Broken metal graters or mesh office bins can be mounted directly to garden walls or fences to act as mini hanging planters. Add cocoa liners or moss. Then fill them with small flowers like violas, succulents, or dwarf marigolds. These lightweight containers add industrial charm and make perfect use of narrow, overlooked vertical areas. Line several up in a row or arrange them in a staggered pattern for visual interest. Customize them with paint, stencil, or decoupage to fit your garden's aesthetic. These creative little accents bring unexpected delight to garden walls, showing that even the smallest bits of trash can become powerful, blooming statements. Conclusion: let creativity blossom from waste. As we've seen throughout today's video, great garden design doesn't require fancy store-bought decor. It simply takes imagination, a touch of resourcefulness, and a deep appreciation for nature's beauty. By repurposing forgotten objects and combining them with flourishing flowers and plants, you create not just a garden, but a story. Whether it's a rusted lantern, a colander, or a kettle, each piece becomes a symbol of transformation where decay gives birth to new life and forgotten scraps bloom again. Your garden becomes an art gallery of sustainability, blooming with intention and originality. If you enjoyed these ideas and feel inspired to reimagine your garden in beautiful, eco-friendly ways, be sure to like this video, leave us a comment with your favorite idea, and subscribe to The Right Place for more garden art magic. Until next time, keep planting creatively, and keep your garden the right place to grow.